365801, and this is the second video of my Behind Closed Drawers series, where I delve deep into my drawers and show you what I've got in all of them. This is mainly a BL collection, so that's probably mainly what it is. If you're interested in that, stick around. I have lots to show. In this drawer we mainly have Deux, some Doki Doki, and Be Beautiful. So if you're interested in those imprints or those publishers, stick around and I'll show you what I've got. This one is Idle Pleasures by Furi Misasagi. Obviously this is a Deux title. They're out of print, so there are only so many that you can buy. Furi Misasagi also has another one, which is, I think, I've Moved Next Door to You, which is so expensive and so hard to get. So I was happy to get this one. This is one of my recent purchases, so I'll link to the manga haul that is. I haven't read it yet, so looking forward to that. Freshmen by Yuya. This is also one of my newer titles. I haven't had the chance to read this one yet either, so don't know what it's about. I don't know, does Yuya have anything else? No idea. Oh well, I think they do. Maybe a Kitty Media or maybe an 801. I'll get to it at some point. This is Seduced Me After the Show, one of M's titles. This is, I think, the last one I needed to get to be able to get all of her printed English releases. And it generally goes for a lot more, so I was really happy to be able to get it for just slightly less than cover price. So that was a good buy. And yes, I have not read this one either. This is Rough Love by Tamaki Kirishima, who also did Man's Best Friend, which was the blue title I showed in part 1, and that was in my other collection, so I don't have it here. And this is also to do with guys who are kind of like dogs or wolves or something. I don't know. But I do love a good pun. I love a good pun. So Rough Love is fun just because it's a really good pun. These are Kano Miyamoto's works that Deux published. This is Say Please and Two of Hearts. I haven't read Say Please yet, but I did read Two of Hearts. She also has another work published by Sublime, which I have. I think it's Sleeping Moon, which is a 2-part series. And I really enjoyed that one, but I wasn't so much a fan of Two of Hearts. She really has a tendency to go to angsty places, so if you enjoy angst, then Kano Miyamoto's probably a good one for you to read. But yeah, I had a bit of difficulty getting Say Please because I thought I had it and then realised I didn't. And then when I actually started looking for it, I couldn't find it for a good price. And now, I just can't stop seeing it for ridiculous prices, like £2, £3, yeah. So it's easy to get hold of Say Please for a good price if you're looking. Yeah, Two of Hearts though was kind of a little bit, it just made me feel slightly uncomfortable because of the age difference. I like age gap romances, I'm not like averse to it, but I don't know, because of the angstiness and the way that Kano Miyamoto frames her stories through that sort of angsty lens, it does make me feel slightly uncomfortable, but still very happy to have them in my collection. Now this is a fairly beat up, I think it's ex-library copy of Future Lovers Volume 2 by Saika Kunida. Did I say that right? Kunida, that's better. I really love her work. It's really funny, it's really kind of nostalgic. It has definitely been drawn at that point in time. Certain tones that are used I recognise in other manga's work from that period, especially like Yamada Yugi. You can see like, oh, they've used the same weird, funky Aztec, if you know what I'm talking about, the Aztec men, like weird sort of tones in the background. Saika Kunida has that kind of style as well, definitely of that time period, but it's a fairly beat up copy and I'm so happy to have it. I don't have a volume 1, it's hard to get hold of. Certain titles are more difficult to get hold of, and a volume 1 is. However, luckily, Sublime took quite a lot of like the Boysenberry titles that I showed in part 1. They are available digitally through Sublime, and this is also a digital title you can get through Sublime. So I have volume 1 digitally, and I was very happy to get volume 2. Okay, so this is I Shall Never Return, volumes 1 through 5, by Kazuna Uchida. I obviously have more copies. I have 2 volume 1s, 2 volume 3s, 2 volume 4s. So I have 1 volume 2 and 1 volume 5. So I almost have 2 complete sets. And that's because I have a tendency to see a title that I don't have, and I will buy it for the cheap price that I see, and then realise actually it's quite a big series, and then I'll see the whole series to buy, and I'll end up buying the whole series, so I'll have extras that way. This generally happens quite a lot. This is why I have multiple volumes of series, but I only have like 1 complete series. So yeah, I Shall Never Return. There was an OVA made of this, but I've never actually read the series. And I don't actually think I'm sure I've watched it. I must have watched it at some point in time. But I have no idea what the story's about. Can't tell you. Can't help you on that one. If you do. Is this a good one? Should I read it? I'm going to be doing like an A to Z BL reading, so let me know. Is this one that I should read? I'm going to try and read series. So if I have one that's a series in my eyes, I should probably do this one. So yeah, if you've read this and it's a good one, let me know, because I kind of want to go on recommendations if possible. So this is my other STM title, Red Blinds the Foolish, which I probably should have just shown them together, because I'm going to put them together in a second. So this is her other work that Deux published. This is Made in Heaven by Hisami Shimada. I think there might actually be more to this. I think there might be in Japanese. Maybe not a volume 2, but like an offshoot or a connected story. Or maybe Hisami Shimada's work just looks similar in that respect. I haven't actually read this. Or maybe I did a long time ago. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? But it kind of is very on par for me. Yeah. Don't know what this is about, but yeah, Made in Heaven. So this is Mr. Mistress, Volume 1 by Shimba Rees, or Rees Shimba. And there is a Volume 2, and it is expensive, and I don't have it, so that's another one I'm going to add to my list of books that I need to get. She also has a June title, I think it's called My Bad, and that's also incredibly difficult to get hold of that I don't have, so that's also on my list of books to get. She's had quite a few BL titles printed, but she's, I think, mostly known for the title. How is it translated into? My Girlfriend is a Geek, I think is how it was translated. It was really popular in Japan at the time, and it was about kanojo otaku, I guess, I think. And it's, I think it was made into a drama, a Japanese drama. I think it was just like a movie, and it was really funny, it was hilarious. And when I saw the guy, I was like, and actually he's quite a popular actor. Maybe he also played, I think he also played a part in the Oran High School Hostelbu drama as well. Oh my god, that's fantastic, guys. If you haven't watched, oh my god, if you have not watched the drama version of Oran High School, you gotta get on it. It's fantastic. I mean, if you watch the anime, obviously you're gonna love it, but yeah. But I think the actor is also in the drama version of her other work, which is a shoujo work, because Shimba Rees also does shoujo as well as BL. So, Mr. Mistress, as you can see, it's still in its plastic cover. I will probably get around to reading it because, as I said before, some of these works are available on Sublime as a digital title, so I will be able to buy a digital version of Volume 2 while I'm still on the lookout for a print copy of Volume 2. But it will probably be expensive and difficult to get hold of. Annoying, but it's on the list. It'll come one day. One day I shall have you. This is Hate to Love You by Makoto Tateno. This is, I think maybe the only Deux title that she published. And yes, you can see 2 copies there. I have 2 copies in this drawer. I think I got one as a single purchase and another one I think came as a bundle. So I have read this, but I struggled to get through it. Isn't it mean? I'm being so mean. If you like Makoto Tateno, I am so sorry, because it seems like I do nothing but slag her off in these videos. And it's really unfair, but I struggled to get through this, so I know I've read it, but I don't know what the story was about. And it was a struggle to even finish it. Hate to Read You should be Makoto Tateno's title instead. Isn't that mean? That's so mean. Because she's such a good mangaka. She worked so hard to help publicize the industry abroad. She came to lots of conferences and stuff in like the 2000s and did lots of signings with foreigners, and yeah, she's a good apple. She's a good apple. But yeah, this one maybe not so much. I'll give it another go and see, because when I did try and read it, it was a long time ago, so maybe it's a good title. I just haven't given it a good shot. This is Hanky Panky by Koreaki Kamuro, who I'm pretty sure has some other work out that I might have in another publisher, but I don't remember what it's called. So. And I haven't read this one either, so I don't know what it's about. I don't know if she's a good mangaka or not. I'm sorry. But I got it for a really good price, and that's what I remember. I'm slowly discovering that I'm just not actually much of a reader when it comes to buying all this. It's more like having it than reading it. I must read more. But yeah, Hanky Panky. It's a great title, whoever translated that, because I'm pretty sure that's not the Japanese title. I don't know what the Japanese title is, but Hanky Panky is pretty cool for a title. This is Keita Papa by Ryo Takagi, and it says volume 1 because there is more. I did read this at the end of 2019, so I think it's in one of my videos, like a wrap-up video, and yeah, there should be more of it. It was never published. Ryo Takagi has another 1 or 2 titles. I think I have one of them, which is One Night's Lesson, but my goodness, she's prolific in Japanese. She's had so much, and her art style has changed completely, so this is definitely like the kind of insentient stages of her artwork. So yeah, it's an early work, Keita Papa. But there is the OVAs, so if you want to check it out, there's OVAs. And the voice actors are fantastic. I love the voice actors in them. I wish there was more of it, just because you can have a complete series, but I'll maybe buy the rest in Japanese one day. This is Part-Time Pets by Reno Amagi, and I don't know what it's about. But I love that I have it, and it's a really cool title, so I have no idea. If you've read it, please let me know what it's about, because I don't know. It's shocking. This is generally what my video is going to be about. Me saying, I have this, I don't know what it's about. Sorry guys. I've got plenty to read, that's how it is. This is Spicy But Sweet by Nadoki Kojima, who has a lot published. I mean, there's even stuff in this drawer. Selfish Love by Be Beautiful that I have. She also has done lots of other stuff. She's kind of one of the staples of, I want to say, Kadokawa Shoten, who do CL. They used to do Trey, and they do the Emerald publications, and so she's kind of been a staple for them for a long time. She has, by Deux, Spicy But Sweet and Naughty But Nice, and I do not have Naughty But Nice, and I almost bought it about 6 times. 6 different occasions, 6 different volumes. Why have I not? Because it's just that whole thing of just, oh, well, maybe I can get it for like a quid cheaper, and then hold myself back. And so now I don't have it, and now I feel uncomfortable because my OCD is saying complete the sets, must complete the sets, and this is like a set. Spicy but sweet, naughty but nice. I'm sure they're connected in some way, But as I don't have the other one, I'm not going to read this one until I do. So, Naruki Kojima's artwork is not my favourite. Just putting it out there. And her stories are only so-so. I'm kind of a bit picky about it, but obviously I want to collect them all, but I'm not really a fan. Even though she seems to be a staple for CL. But yeah, there you go. Here we go, another CJ Mikulski Noodle Shop Affair. Boys in bunny ears. Food and foreigners. That seems to be CJ Mikulski. She seems like a right laugh of a person, you know, like she never takes herself too seriously, and she doesn't really take her stories seriously either. They're full of nonsense, absolute nonsense, and this one is no exception. It does have a great big number 1 on it, so is there another volume of Noodle Shop Affair? There isn't by Deux. Is there in Japanese? I don't know. I've never actually ventured to try and investigate, so that's something I should look out for. I know Deux didn't publish the second volume though. I would know that. If there was. If there is, please let me know. I don't know. This is Tomcats by Machiro Minamino? Minamino? Never read it. It also has a number 1, which makes you think that there might be a volume 2, but not by Deux. So the artwork on the front, for some reason, really puts me off. I just don't want to sit and read it. I will one day. I will one day. I need more readathons to force me into reading the things that I'm like, meh, about. And this is one I'm a bit meh. Just from the artwork on the front, it kind of screams, you need another couple of years of training to be a fully fledged mangaka. Ooh! That was mean, wasn't it? That was mean. But, yeah, like, you're not quite there yet. You need another few minutes in the oven. That's kind of how I feel about Tomcats' artwork on the front cover. But, you know, sometimes they surprise you. You read them and it's like, wow, that was brilliant. I love the story. Artwork's rubbish, but I love the story. If that's the case for Tomcats, if you've read it, let me know, because I don't. I haven't read it. I've had it for ages and I have 2 copies and I have not read it, and I don't actually want to because the artwork is so off-putting on the front. So, is it bad that I'm trying to not say it looks like OEL? If you like OEL, I'm really sorry. It's evolved, okay? I know. Graphic novels and, you know, it's a lot better than it was back in the 2000s, but it kind of reminds me of OEL in the 2000s, which is probably the worst insult I could give any kind of manga ever. It looks like OEL from the 2000s. Okay, so along with CJ Mikulski, there is some Naze Yamato or Yamato Naze. It just sounds much easier for me to say Yamato Naze for some reason. Take Me to Heaven and Cigarette Kisses, which I know Cigarette Kisses is available on Sublime. Is Take Me to Heaven available on Sublime? I have read both of these. Take Me to Heaven was kind of a bit of a struggle to read as well, in the same way that Hate to Love You was. I just wasn't feeling it. You really have to be in the right mood. Cigarette Kisses I've read. Can't remember what it was about, but just in the same vein, I think there was some sort of, tragic story, someone saves him. Throwaway, enjoyable kind of read. So here we have some CoCo Cano. I really like CoCo Cano. She actually has a lot published. Her art style's changed quite a bit. I have 2 copies of Tough Love Baby. They're not difficult to get hold of and they're not that expensive, so feel free to try and get that. Yakuza in Love, however, is a little bit more difficult to get hold of because there are 3 volumes. Yakuza in Love Volume 1 is a little easier to find and usually a little bit cheaper, and Volume 2 and 3 are more expensive. Now, I saw them probably this time last year, so early 2019, and they were really expensive, and then throughout the year I kept checking and I found some for not too bad a price, so I think I got Yakuza in Love 2 for like £7 or something, but Yakuza in Love 3 was more expensive. but I can't quite remember what it was. But more expensive than I probably would normally choose to pay. And I saw them recently for extortionate prices. They're up to like £20-30 for one volume, and I'm just not going to pay that, so I'm really happy I've got them, and I got them for a good price. I haven't read them yet. Maybe they're my Y. They should be my Y. Yeah. So for my A to Z, I might use that for my Y. Yakuza in Love. Yeah, I like CoCo Cano's work. I've got quite a lot of her work published. I don't know if I've got everything though, so I'll have to check and do inventory. But yeah, I have read Tough Love Baby, but I can't actually remember what it's about, sorry. Okay, so for the extra that I have that is not in the drawers, I have Lovers and Souls by Kano Miyamoto, so that's another one of her work. And I also have some Takashi Kanzaki, Heavenly Body. I have a series which is complete, I think, 2 volumes, and that is Oh My God by Natsuho Shino, who I think you can get those 2 volumes, yes, at Sublime. So if you want a digital copy, you can get the digital copies, but I don't think they were terribly expensive. If you can find them, they weren't that expensive. And another Hinako Takanaga volume, Love Round, with 2 exclamation marks. Woo. So yeah, I've read Heavenly Bodies because I went through a wee Takashi Kanzaki reading phase, so I read everything and I was not that impressed. But I'm happy that I have them, and it does add to my collection. So these are what I have in my other collection. Okay, on to my Doki Doki collection, and the first one is Train Train by Eiki Eiki, and that's 1, 2 and 3 volumes, and I think it should be complete. Eiki Eiki and Taishi Zao are quite a pair when it comes to the work that they've produced. I think their biggest work and most popular and most famous is probably Love Stage, which has 7 volumes published by Sublime, and of course the anime as well, which people really took to. But Eiki Eiki and Taishi Zao are 2 separate people. They do separate work occasionally, and they also work together. So Eiki Eiki, I think, has mostly done a lot of the drawings, but she's, I think, mostly the writer actually when it comes to the pairing when she works with Taishi Zao. I think she does some of the drawings, but that she's mostly the writer when it comes to when they get together. So yeah, I have not read this for some strange reason. I haven't got round to it yet. I do like some of their other works, and I don't yet have a Princess, which I think maybe just an Eiki Eiki, or maybe just Taishi Zao, or maybe it's got nothing to do with them whatsoever. I don't know, but I don't have that yet. But yeah, I do have some of their other work though. Now, speaking of Taishi Zao, she has done some of the illustrations for the yaoi novels that Doki Doki produced. This one is written by Arika Kuga, that's Fevered Kiss, and another one by Yura Tamaki, and that is Green Light. So she has done some illustration work along with Eiki Eiki. Taishi Zao together are usually a pair, but you can see there's a slight difference in their art style, and it does look a little bit more like Love Stage art style. So you can see that she's I think more focused on her illustration than her story work. I think Doki Doki also have 2 other either manga or yaoi novels. One of them I think is Electric Hands. I can't quite remember another one, and I don't have them yet, I don't think. So they're on my to get list. Electric Hands I thought I had, and then I went through my collection. So part of me thinks maybe I'm missing a box somewhere. There might be a box full of goodies that I come across. Well, I've got lots of boxes of goodies. I'm gonna come across lots of boxes, but that ones that I actually thought I had but I don't have. So I think there is actually a few Taishi Zao or Eiki Eiki that I thought I had but I don't have. Colour is one of them. I don't have it, and I thought I had it, so Electric Hands and Colour are two that I should have, and I don't. Here are two Riko Fukuyama works. One is The Devil Inside, and one is Midnight Bloom, both Doki Doki Yaoi manga, and I read both of these last year, and for the life of me, I have no idea what they're about. I know that they were kind of easy to read and throw away very quick. Read through them like less than an hour, and I enjoyed them, but I don't actually remember what they were about. And the art style on the front is slightly different, but I think inside they were pretty similar. So yeah, I can't remember what it was about at all. And this is just this time last year. I'm so old. I'm so old. I can't remember anything. I should take some vitamins for that, I think. This is Yokanita's Autodama Voice from the Dead and Volume 1, and I have 2 copies of Volume 1. I have a Volume 2 in my other collection. I thought I had 2 Volume 2s, but I only have 1, I think. So, yep, Autodama by Doki Doki. It's kind of connected to some of her other works as well. I think it's connected to like Spiritual Police. It might even be connected to Sound of My Voice as well. But then I think, according to someone else told me that there was more volumes to Autodama and they never published them. So there's like a cut between Autodama and Spiritual Police, and there's like something key that you should know about that happens in maybe Volume 3 of Autodama. And no one knows what it is if you're reading in English. It doesn't make any sense. It is a Yokanita title, so it's going to have its followers, because Yokanita has quite very fervent fans who stick with her and want all of her works, and once they have one work that they like, they really enjoy it. And so she's published by quite a lot. Obviously there was none in the Deux, but there is in Be Beautiful, and a lot of June ones as well, and Sublime now too. So yeah, I'll come round to them when I get there. Oh dear, it's Makoto Tatano again. So this is probably why I have a negative view of Makoto Tatano. How to Capture a Martini was so upsetting and so aggravating that I think it spoiled my, or kind of spoiled my reading of her works, and spoiled my memories of reading her works, other than of course Hero Heal, which I love, and you can't take that away from me. But I did enjoy Ninth Sleep, which is a June title I have, but it wasn't really BL as such, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it. I haven't read How to Control a Sidecar yet. I just bought it recently. It's a recent purchase, so I'll link up the haul somewhere. And I want to read it, so I want to kind of maybe exercise the demons of How to Capture Martini, but inevitably I will probably just be more annoyed. I'll let you guys know when I get around to reading it, finally. So this is the other works that I have by Makoto Tatano. This is called Happy Boys. It's volume 1 and 2, and it's complete. I think I got it last year around January or February time. I just was able to buy it as a complete set, so I was very happy about that. I don't really know much about it other than that I haven't read it, so I'm looking at the back. It basically says it's based on the hit Japanese TV series about a butler cafe. So about the goings on behind the scenes at a butler cafe. Happy Boys. So yeah, I don't really know very much about it, but it must have been a big thing in Japan at some point in time, a long time ago. And I've never bothered to read it, so I have it along with the other works by Makoto Tatano. I'm happy to have in the collection, and one day I will get round to reading it, and I'll let you know what I think. Kind of ended up saving the best for last in terms of what I've got in the Doki Doki pile, and that is a double cast by Eli Mamahara Eli, with an original story by Takana Mizuhashi. And double cast, it's probably one of my favourites. Is it my favourite Mamahara Eli story? Maybe. And you know why? Because there's a switcheroo on who you think is Uke and who you think is Semi, and I love that! Oh, I love it when this kind of reversible, when it's a little bit more ambiguous. I love it when it's a little bit like, oh, you thought that? I'm giving you this. Woo! I love that. I love being surprised. I love when authors are able to kind of surprise me. I very often play a game with my dad. We watch like a murder mystery, and I call it like in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, that's the murderer. My dad's like, how do you know? You're just guessing. I was like, I bet I'll be right. And at the end of it, I'm like, ha 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 ha. And I'm really bad for watching things and kind of going, I get who this is, or I know what's going to happen, or this is how the story's going to go. And very often I can predict, and especially if you read a lot and if you watch a lot of certain things, you get kind of stuck into that process of being able to tell what's going to happen. And as a BL reader and aficionado, I can very often like, okay, that's the uke, that's the semi, done deal, this is how it is. This one, no, it kind of messes with you a little bit, and I love that. I love that. So it's kind of not just me, it messes with the main character's perceptions as well, of not just himself but also the people around him. It's about acting, it's about understudies, it's about ego, it's about longing, love. Oh, it's such a good short story. It's only 1 volume, but I love it. I kind of want to get the original story in Japanese if I can. I really enjoy yaoi novels or BL novels. I wish there was more of them, so I'm really looking forward to the fact that is it Yen Press are going to be releasing, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Yen Press or is it Seven Seas? I think it's Yen Press who are going to be releasing a BL novel, an actual physical novel, and we haven't had one of them for a long time. That's a translation of a Japanese one, and there are so many in Japan. There are so many like iconic ones that have been, you know, transferred into movies, transferred into anime and OVAs, and we don't ever get them. So yeah, some more novels translated into English. And I know a lot of the publishers, they say they don't make money from them because they're so text heavy, it costs a lot to get translators in, and that's why, you know, fan translations end up being so popular, because the publishers just won't touch them because they just don't make money. Well, I will buy it. If you write it, I will buy it. So Double Cast is such a good one. If you can get hold of it, yeah. If you love it too, comment down below, because I need to find some more people who are Mamahara Ellie fans. I need more Mamahara Ellie fans in my life. Okay, so for my Doki Doki titles that I don't have in the drawer, I have in my other collection, I have the series Brilliant Blue by Saimi Yorita, and I have 2 volume 2s, as you can see, but I do have the full complete set and a brand new copy of volume 1, which I have not read yet. I have a volume 2 of Autodama, so I do have a volume 2, yay! So I do have what is published, although I don't think it's complete, obviously. And there you can also see some Taishizao, Living for Tomorrow, and Mysterious Love. So maybe I only just have those 2 to get, which is Colour and Electric Hands. I think I'll need to check, but yeah. So that's my extra collection of Doki Doki. Not so many titles, most of them are actually in my drawer, so I'll have to see what I need to get else that has been published by Doki Doki. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Be Beautiful collection that I have. It's not a very big collection. They haven't actually published that much before they went out of business, which is a shame, because the titles that they selected were actually quite good titles, so they were from good authors at that point in time. So here you can see Playboy Blues, story and art by CoCo Cano, who I've obviously just talked about. It's a volume 1. Oh my goodness, Playboy Blues is huge! And there is so many volumes of Playboy Blues, and only one has been published in English. If you are a fan of Punch Up is kind of from the same universe of Playboy Blues. I think Playboy Blues actually came out first, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, and then Punch Up came out, and Punch Up became really popular, and obviously they just released last year the next volume, which was a really big surprise that she released another volume of Punch Up, and I hear that there might actually be another one, which would be what, volume 6, volume 7, volume 6? I don't even remember now. I have all the ones from Sublime. I was really happy to get, and I enjoyed having a total binge read of them last year, so I was really happy to have that. But Playboy Blues was, I think, the original, and it is actually really long in Japanese, and we only have one volume, which is a bit of a shame, because if you like CoCo Cano, you kind of want to just read all of it, especially if you've got half the story or half the universe being presented. She does have some crossovers. I'm not even sure, is Tough Love Baby a crossover too? You know, I'll have to have a wee investigation of my CoCo Cano collection. But I'm really happy to have volume 1 of Playboy Blues. I think I did read it, but I can't even remember. Most of hers are just fun, good, sexy times, and if, like I said before, if you like fun, sexy times, yeah, she's someone to read. I think that some people do find Punch Up a little bit problematic in terms of the age difference, but if you like age difference romance, you'll be fine. Punch Up is a really good series, a really enjoyable read. So Playboy Blues, if you can get hold of it. The original, some might say best, but I don't know. Now this is a new title to my collection. It's Embracing Love, Volume 1 by Be Beautiful, and as I mentioned previously in another video, they did release, I think, 5 volumes, and then Sublime picked it up, and I think Sublime have dropped it, I'm not sure, or what's going on with Embracing Love. I think she just released, I saw some stuff on Twitter which I was like, no, don't show me! And if you feel like, I will get it in Japanese if I need to get it in Japanese. I want it in English, but I want to be able to read it first in English and then go back and get the Japanese and then slowly make my way through. But people were saying stuff and I saw images, and I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but I was like, what? No, what? Stop, delete. Mine eyes, it burns. If you unfortunately were like me and had that kind of spoilery effect happen to you, yeah, I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm still behind on my Embracing Love Sublime titles. I still need to get the second omnibus, and I will need to get volumes 2 to 5 that Be Beautiful published. I will slowly get them. Even though it's duplication, like I said, I want it all, I want it all, and I want it now. I'm not monetized, so it's fine, I can say that. This is another quite a big hitter actually, story and art by Yo Asagiri, who also had quite a lot of work out at that point. This is Golden Cane, but I haven't actually read Golden Cane yet. It's kind of been on one of my, oh, that looks really good and I like the art style and it looks familiar and I kind of want to read it, but I haven't got around to it yet. So now this is definitely one of the big hitters of the early 2000s, and that's Haruka Minami, Love a la carte. The picture is worth 1,000 words. I know I've read this, but a lot of Haruka Minami's work is so throwaway. Oh, like even worse than C.J. Mikulski. At least C.J. Mikulski, you know, there's a style. Mind you, with Haruka Minami, there's a style there too. Very sharp chins. As you can see, you could cut yourself on those chins. And I think she is a bit of a Shota fan as well. So yeah, they do make me slightly uncomfortable how young her ukes are and how she draws certain anatomy points and body parts that, yeah, not sure about Haruka Minami. I did go through a phase where I was just like, right, I gotta collect whatever's been published, and this was one of them that's been published. So she has a few. You can get some of her work through Sublime digitally as well. So there is more available if you like her style and if you like her stories. There are a few of her stories I've read that I was like, oh, that was really good. I enjoyed that. But there are definitely things to do with her art style that I'm a bit uncomfortable with. Oh wow, talk about uncomfortable. Samurai Love by Kazuma Kodaka. And in a romantic epic by the creator of Kizuna, Bonds of Love. So yes, she's very famous with Kizuna, and I think she's done Borders and other things as well. So how do I say this? Midare Somenishi. A Legend of Samurai Love. That's a hard one to say. Midare Somenishi. Okay. This is hard going. This is tough because the guy on the cover who's got the red hair, he has red hair, so it's kind of a big thing. And it's red, not orange, so I like that it is actually red hair. So he kind of has this sort of a devil persona. This is all in the time of samurais and stuff. This is an uncomfortable read. This is some killing, stalking, what's the Painter in the Night kind of thing. This is some uncomfortable reading for you. This is your original, okay? This is old school. All you people who are liking your manhwas now, this is the uncomfortable stuff we had when we were back in the day. And oh boy, is it uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it was uncomfortable. So people who might like Samurai Love will be all into all of the manhwas that are a little bit uncomfortable just now. Like Killing Stalking. I can kind of see that. Because sometimes you do want something that's going to take you to an uncomfortable place, that's going to force you to sort of recognize your own boundaries. You know, people need to do that every once in a while, for their own, you know, awareness, self-awareness. So this took me to a place where I was not comfortable, but I stayed there, tested the water, and kind of went, okay, hot enough for me, I'm going to get out now. But I'm so happy to have it because it is uncomfortable. The guy on the front cover that has the red hair, he's normal, maybe even on the large size for a normal person. As that's how he's portrayed in the story. So the guy behind him is basically a giant and is evil as all hell, and is basically obsessed with this guy and will not stop until he has him. It's really uncomfortable to watch the story unfold, and I'm not going to go into it because if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just saying, if you want a story that pushes you, that is engaging, that is interesting, that makes you feel uncomfortable, and leaves you hanging in a way that you're like, ooh, okay, and you will need to think about the story. This is unlike other BL that was published at the time. You can't say that about Kazuma Kodaka, that her characters aren't interesting or that her stories aren't engaging. They are, and they stick with you. There is none of this throwaway nonsense from her. And that is why she has endured. That is why she still has huge followings. This is me on my soapbox, by the way, guys. I am on my soapbox right now, okay? And she endures because she continues to make characters and stories that are engaging. And if you go to a doujinshi event in Japan where there are all these fantastic doujinshi creators, and there are also mangakas that have been publishing for a long time. If you want Eiki and Taishizao stuff, you can get some stuff from them. Their doujinshi is available. If you want some Nekota stuff, you can get Yonezo Nekota's work. You can go and get their doujinshi. Well, you can get Kazuma Kodaka's doujinshi as well, and the lines are always huge for her work. They are massively long. Her work endures. The people who bought her work in the early 2000s, the late 1990s, they are all old ladies, and they still go to all of these doujinshi events and comiket, and they will buy her stuff. They are hardcore fans, and I am like, yes, sisters, woo, we are there. So I absolutely loved going to these doujinshi events because I saw these people who are older than me by a long shot, and still absolutely loving BL and totally invested, and that's what Kazuma Kodaka does. So there's me. I'm just going to get off my soapbox now. If you have not read Samurai Love, or if you've not got it, get it, even if it makes you uncomfortable. It's like a classic, and you can trace it back. Okay, you can trace back the uncomfortable BL tradition to this work, and back even further. Okay, so from the sublime and soapbox-ish to the ridiculous. It's not really ridiculous. Selfish Love by Naoki Kojima. I've already said I'm not really such a fan of her artwork or really her storytelling, but I did manage to get this for a good price, so this is not one that I was like, oh, I have to have this, the way that Samurai Love was, because it's historically important for BL. It's not. But I do think that she does have her place in BL history as well, and I think that she is an important author to have, so I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Be Beautiful, they were one of the originals, so I'm really happy to have Selfish Love in the collection. Just as a wee side note, what is with all the marijuana leaves on this? Like, the under the 1 and the 2, they're not just normal leaves. There's definitely some symbolism there going on, and if that's the case, Naoki Kojima, you have just risen in my book. Like, a little bit of like, just gonna throw that in there, see if anyone notices. I think I did. I see you, Naoki, I see you. Now I do have some other Yokanita in the collection for Be Beautiful. They printed Sound of My Voice, which is supposed to be volume 1. It says it on the side that it's volume 1. I don't know if there is a volume 2 in Japanese, but there was only ever volume 1 printed by Be Beautiful. And also Casino Lily as well, which is obviously quite an old one. They've obviously started to use her work from Embracing Love, because as you can see it says on the top, a high-stakes tale of romance by the author of Embracing Love. So using her popularity to present some more of her works. Casino Lily is just a one-shot, but as I said, I don't know about Sound of My Voice. Is it connected in any way to Autodama, Spiritual Police, or any of the other works that she has done? So I haven't actually read these two, but it's definitely gonna get round to it. Trust me, I'm gonna get round to it. I'm gonna do a Yokanita, just all of her works binge. But yeah, so these are the other two in my Be Beautiful collection. Now I do not have very many other Be Beautiful titles because they actually do not have a lot published. They published the first 3 volumes of Finder, so I need to get them, and the rest of Embracing Love, and I think there might be something else that I need to get from Be Beautiful. But I do have the only volume published in print for Yebis Celebrities, so Yebis. There are more volumes available, and they have all been printed by Sublime. So if you want the full story of Yebis Celebrities, you can go to Sublime. I really enjoy Yebis Celebrities. There was some weird animation, but it's not an animation exactly. It's, I don't know what they call it, when they make the manga move rather than actually drawing the images themselves. It's a bit odd. But they made an OVA of Yebis Celebrities based on volume 1. So you can go and check that out as well if you're interested. In the picture you can also see the second copy of Delivery Cupid by Boysenberry. as well. So that is it for drawer number 2. This is going to be part 2. It's going to take me a while, guys. I'm sorry. I do have a lot to film and go through, so it's going to take me a while to like edit everything, and I'm really sorry about the lighting. I live in the depths of Scotland. It's really hit and miss here when it comes to lighting with weather. So sometimes it looks really nice and bright, and then suddenly there's a cloud, because we have every type of weather. And as I'm speaking, the sun's coming out as well. So yeah, the lighting will probably really be terrible in this video. Sorry, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. This was Deux, Doki Doki, and Be Beautiful. So going through this has been really beneficial, actually, because I'm thinking about, oh, I need to get this, and oh, I need to get that, and how many there is left. I have gone through, I think it was last November, all of the publishers that I could think of that published anything BL, and went through what I had and what I didn't have. So I think I've gone through everything now that's in my collection, and also what I need to get to be able to complete the collection. I'll be able to do a video on that at some point as well. So this is everything. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!